Hey everybody, I'm here today to talk to you about horsepower, and I will be answering a very simple horsepower question. How much is too much? Well, this is sort of a loaded question, and I'm going to be doing my best to answer it in the most logical way possible. So in my opinion, I think anything that is over 500, maybe 550 horsepower is too much, okay? But there is a little bit more to the answer. So there are a few things that I want you to consider. I want you to consider a few factors: traction, practicality, gas, and the stress that more horsepower will put on your car's components, okay? So with regards to traction, I mean, if your car can continue to have enough traction, can grip the road with 700, 800 horsepower, then you know what? 500 horsepower isn't too much. But for the most part, when you get into those high numbers over 500 horsepower, not many vehicles will have enough traction. So that's why that's one of the reasons that I consider 500 horsepower to be this sort of threshold for too much horsepower, 500 horsepower, give or take, because more than 500 will usually lead to significantly worse traction, okay? Until you get into the super high-end cars with the super high-end components, okay? All right, practicality. 500 horsepower is a lot of horsepower. You can get up to highway speeds very quickly, okay? Very quickly. When you get into numbers that are 600, 700, 800, 900 horsepower, you know what? You won't really get a chance to use that extra power because you're going to be hitting highway speeds like that so quickly that it's not even funny. So that's why 500 horsepower, in my opinion, is sort of the maximum that you will use. And that's getting up to highway speeds, which are, you know, sort of the fastest that you will be driving, the fastest that you should be driving. All right? Gas. So obviously more horsepower uses more gas. You know, that's just a general rule of thumb. Now, generally speaking, gas is only a concern if you're concerned about money. If you have unlimited funds or a crazy amount of money to purchase gas, then gas isn't a concern of yours. However, most people are concerned with the amount of money that they spend on gas. And when you get into numbers that are more than 500 horsepower, you are going to be burning through gas like no tomorrow. And the last thing that I want to talk about is stress on the components of your cars. When you get into high horsepower numbers, it puts more stress on the various components of your car, okay? And that means that they're going to wear and tear. They're going to experience some wear and tear much faster, and they're going to wear down much more quickly, okay? So with that being said, even with 500 horsepower, you're going to be wearing down your car's components relatively quickly, but it's at a manageable rate. When you get into the 600, 700, 800, 900 horsepower ranges, you will wear down the components of your car significantly faster. And with that being said, I wanted to make this video to give you my opinion on how much horsepower is too much. That's not to say that you can't enjoy a car that is 900 horsepower, 800 horsepower. You can enjoy it, but when you're talking about driving that car on a daily basis or even on a frequent basis, you know, when you have 500 horsepower, that's more than enough. Anything more than that is good, but it might be too much. So that's why I wanted to make this video to talk to you about how much horsepower is too much. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.